Hey guys, Happy New Year and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm tackling a few things that I should have done right around Christmas time, but I'm getting to them now, so better late than never. And one of the things is protecting my garlic bed. So in my raised bed here, I've got a variety of garlic. It's a hardneck variety called Music. And around Christmas, I like to drop about 3 to 4 inches of leaves on the top of the bed. And all that does is help to kind of prevent these extreme temperature fluctuations in the soil that happen in the wintertime, the freeze-thaw thing. So this kind of keeps the temperature nice and even. The best time to do it in zone 6A, 5B would be like right around Christmas time. So I'm a week after the fact, but like I said, better late than never. So I was saving some leaves just for that purpose. And I'm gonna drop them in here, spread them around, but I also have a few other things that I like to do this time of year as well. And one of them is cutting back the hellebores. I always do that. I seem to forget to do that as well. And they don't get cut back until like just as the flowers are emerging. So I'm gonna cut those back now too, because they really do look kind of tatty. And then I'm gonna take apart my Christmas tree and some evergreen garland that I had in the house and use that to protect one of my favorite David Austin roses that's no longer available. That's in my Munstead wood rose. So typically I'll pack leaves around that as well. And didn't do that this year either. So I'm gonna use those evergreen boughs to protect it, but I am gonna get, after the garlic bed, covered up and move on to the next thing. It's frozen on the bottom. So what I do is cover the bed with the leaves, and then as the temperatures start warming up in the springtime, I'll come in and start removing the layers of leaves so that more sunlight can get to it and really heat up the bed. So all I'm trying to do right now is just minimize those extreme temperature fluctuations that happen. What am I doing? What am I doing? Now, the beauty of having a real Christmas tree is you can repurpose it for other things in the garden that need some winter coverage. So I've got my Christmas tree here, and then some rope garland that I am just gonna kind of mound around the base of that Munstead wood rose I was telling you about. Come on, pup. Now all I'm doing here is forming like a teepee or a tent around the base of the Munstead wood rose. And the reason why this is important is because it's a grafted rose. It's not an own root rose. I don't protect my own root roses because if the top of the plant dies to the ground, I know that what's gonna come up from the roots is that very same plant. For a grafted rose, the top of the plant can die and you'll lose that specialty graft and you'll get the rootstock. And I always forget the name of it, but it's a red one. You'll get the rootstock rose and I don't want that. So grafted roses are incredibly important to protect for that reason. And I'm not being precious with it. I'm just kind of laying it in there so that it's formed like a teepee around the base of it. And oftentimes I will go ahead and pack in leaves too, but obviously I forgot to do that this year. So the evergreen boughs will work. Okay, onto the hellebores. Now I'm in my dry shade garden, and this is something I always forget to do, is to cut the hellebores back, and I don't do it until like the flowers are already showing. So this year I want to get them cut back now and under control, so that all I see when the flowers come up are the flowers and not all this tattered foliage. So the beauty of hellebores is that they're, like I said, semi-evergreen, but they just are such a nice presence in the dry shade garden. They just always have color. The flowers stay around for a really long time, and then even when the color on the flowers fades, they still look lovely. So it's just a great low maintenance plant. I don't fertilize them. I really don't do anything. And so this will be it. And then when the flowers start coming up, move, John, out, get out of there. So then when the flowers start coming up, all we'll see is flowers and not all this tattered foliage. Let me see. And it's kind of nice to be out here. My daughter had surgery. She had hip surgery. So we've been in the house for the last 3 weeks. She's been convalescing. She's not been able to walk. And so I've been helping her get around and everything. So it's just really nice to get out into the garden and do just a bit of tidying up. Kind of helps clear your head. In another month or so, I'll have some beautiful flowers here. In the fall, I like to leave the leaves in the beds. For one, it's great. Leaf litter is great for any type of insects that are overwintering in your garden, as well as protecting the crowns on the hellebores. I'll show you some. Look at the fresh growth on here. So by leaving the leaves down, I'm protecting the crown of the plant, and they'll stay nice and cozy. And I got some more things coming up. Look at the fresh green in here too. I have several varieties of hellebore, and one of my favorite is the Frost Kiss series because they have the most beautiful veining on the foliage. So it's just really interesting all year long, even in the wintertime when it still retains it. And I've been walking past this and I keep thinking I need to cut this back. This is sporobolus or prairie dropseed, and they're splayed out and looking kind of ugly now. So they're no longer standing upright and looking beautiful. I'm gonna get rid of these two since I'm out here. Not bad for the first week in January. Got a few garden tasks crossed off my list, and some that I should have done last year, but better late than never. And the rose is protected, the prairie dropseed is cut back, the hellebores are cut back. Everything's looking great, and I'm gonna call it a day. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya, Happy New Year.